Hey guys, hang tight with me. I'm going to show you how to fix a loose well nut in a kayak. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Mike down in the Yak Shack again. Had a little problem recently. Had a issue where I had a well nut. I had a screw seize up in a well nut in a Coosa HD, and actually the well nut started turning into the rotomolded section of the kayak, so I couldn't get the screw out. We'll go step by step and I'll show you how I fixed that. I've got it repaired and I want to show you step by step how I fixed it. Okay guys, I'm going to get into the repair I made here. So, I bought this kayak back in summer of last year. It may have been late spring, I can't remember. But I got this kayak because my other Coosa HD developed a crack. So there was still warranty left on it. And I went and contacted Jackson and ended up getting a new boat. So when I got the new boat, of course, there are 4 well nuts back here in the rear. Those well nuts are used to attach a rudder or a power pole. They can be used for many different accessories that are sold by Jackson or Yak Attack or other places. So this boat had no handle on the back except for this rotomolded handle, which I don't like. The handle that Jackson makes is big and it's awkward to carry the boat, and your hand's always slipping off the handle. So I went and bought an aftermarket handle, which is, you can buy them at Academy or whatever. And they fit right down into the well nuts. So the well nut on this side, when I would put a screw in it, the screw would work loose from the well nut, and I would have to tighten it down. It was real aggravating. I kept, every other trip I would end up tightening this thing down because the handle would become loose, and I didn't like that. So what I should have done with this loose screw was just put thread tape on it and screwed it back down in there, and it would probably held, but I wasn't thinking at the time. I was actually being stupid. So what I did was I put a drop of super glue down in that well nut. So screwed the screw in and the screw held. The super glue held the screw in, so it didn't come loose again. Flash forward to about 3 weeks ago, and Mike, Kennick, and Scott and I were at East Tennessee Fishing Show, and we came across a company called Yak Gadget, and they sell a lot of different accessories for kayaks. They sell accessories for many different kayaks, and one of the accessories that they had was a manual power pole that would fit a Jackson Coosa HD. So we talked the guy at Yak Gadget into a deal, and he sold us 3 bases, sold us rope. all the attachments we would need to attach the base to the Coosa HD. So we ended up buying 3 from them. So I came home last week and I started thinking about that super glue that I put in on that screw and that well nut. I was wondering if it would give me any trouble. I even asked Mike Kendrick, I said, "Do you think I can get it loose?" And he said, "Hopefully." So I came down here, I took a screwdriver and unscrewed this screw. Once I got that screw out, I twisted the handle out of the way. Put it down here out of the way. And I wanted to work on getting this one loose. Well, I put a screwdriver on it and it wouldn't budge. So I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. So I got the idea that I would get my electric drill and put a bit in it and see if I could break it loose. So I got my battery operated drill, put a bit in it, hit it to loosen up, it came right loose. I took the screw out and looked at it and everything was fine with it. Well nut was still in the rotomolded section of the kayak, intact, wasn't turning or anything. So I wasn't ready to install that base, and I thought, well, I'll just put the screw back in there. So I just put the screw back in the well nut. I had the drill in my hand, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I ran that screw down in that well nut till it bottomed out and didn't think anything about it. Well, when I ran that screw down in there with that drill, it must have broke the well nut loose from the rotomolded plastic because the well nut started turning in the rotomolded plastic. So I had a problem. I had a screw through my handle into a well nut and it was all turning. Well, there was no way for me to get it out. So what I decided to do was I got my battery operated Sawzall, which is this Sawzall. I cut the top of this bolt head off. So when I cut the top of this bolt head off, I ended up with this. A screw without a head into a well nut that was turning. So I tried to take a small screwdriver and hold that well nut. I tried to take a small pair of vice grips and grab that well nut. I tried everything in the world to hold that well nut still in that molded plastic in order for me to get this screw stud out, and nothing worked. So what I ended up doing is, I showed you a picture earlier of what the inside of those rotomolded well nut sections look like. I knew if I tried to open up around this well nut that I needed to open up as close to that well nut as I could without punching through that little cup cup of plastic that well nut sits in. So I took a really small, I got my battery operated drill and I took a really small drill bit and I drilled all around this well nut. Let me get some more light on it so you can see a little bit better. I drilled all around this well nut, small holes all around it. I probably drilled 8 or 9 holes around it side by side. And Just took my time and worked real slow with it. Once I did that, once I got my holes drilled, I took this chisel and went around the edge of this wellnut and made like a small bowl. Without punching through the kayak, I just took my time and whittled out just a small bowl all around it. So when I was done, what I had was I had a sort of a cupped area around this wellnut and holes that ran down beside the wellnut into that small plastic cup. Once that was done, I went to my A-rig box and I got a tube of Loctite 454 instant adhesive gel. It's known as Loctite Quick Tight. So I took that gel and I filled up each one of those holes in that little cup area around this wellnut. Once I got that done, I let it sit for 6 hours. After 6 hours, I was able to come down here and I was able to get this screw stud out without the wellnut turning. So, do I know if that's a permanent fix? No, I don't know if that's a permanent fix or not. I know that it solved my problem right now. I also know that there's not a fix out on YouTube or the internet that shows you how to repair a loose wellnut in a rotomolded kayak without drilling it out. And I didn't want to drill that wellnut out through the hull of this kayak. So that's the fix. I hope that helps you out. Like I said, it's either a permanent fix or it's a temporary fix. If it's a temporary fix, I will probably end up having to plastic weld around this wellnut to make it a permanent fix, which I can do. I just didn't do this time. I wanted to get that wellnut fixed as quick as I could. Guys, thanks for tuning in to the channel. Really appreciate you guys sticking with us. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. We got some more great content coming out here shortly, so stick around with us. Appreciate all of you. Thanks for tuning in.